another episode of the Unnamed Gaming Podcast. I am your host tonight, Nettle. Back. We're all back!
1, 2, 3.
And Craig.
3 of us. Oh,
Four.
fuck you, Craig.
Fuck off, Craig. Nobody cares about Craig. And we've sworn already. Great.
This is your last chance, Craig.
Phone checker system, my ass.
Yeah.
How are you both? How are you doing?
Yes, good,
Good.
thank you.
Good,
Good.
good, good. How are you?
I am
How are you?
good. I'm good. I'm in a good mood. Lots of stuff has
Well,
happened.
that's good.
Hey, let's get into it. What have you been playing? Bendy, what have you been playing?
Wait,
As
What?
can I
What?
guess what she's been playing?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it conveniently like maybe a small person's adventure game?
It's The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
fucking ring, guys. No, I haven't. Yes, I have been playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I haven't played as much as I would like because with Borderlands games, I always play with two friends of mine, all being the way since I first played Borderlands 1, and we've played through Borderlands 2 and the sequel as well. So I haven't played all that much of it, and the day that we played was Friday, which was release day. And I don't know if you guys heard, the shift servers went down for the
It did,
whole of Borderlands. So nobody could play any Borderlands game online.
Oh dear.
So we played together for about 5 minutes. We managed to get into a game, played for about 5 minutes, and then we were all kicked. So we were just sitting in group chat playing single player game, but we didn't get as much done as we wanted to because we couldn't play together. And I found it was really frustrating because we would just go online. It would go online for a second, try and get into a game. It would then fail. And
Yeah.
I understand the issues. You never know how many people are going to start playing and all of that sort of stuff. But as a consumer who got the £80 version of Wonderlands, I was a bit disappointed that this happens every time a game is released. Every single time there is a game release, something happens with the servers on day one.
Yeah.
When it's a multiplayer game, and you would think by now they would know, but they didn't. And yeah,
As
they didn't,
somebody
and
who plays multiplayer games online, when every release the servers go down, I feel your pain.
and the bit that got me was the lack of communication.
It's always the worst.
Like, there wasn't anything from anybody. Like on Twitter, I had to go into a subreddit to be able to find a Twitter feed that led to them saying it was down. That was then retweeted later by Gearbox saying, yeah, the servers are down, we're having problems with it. It's a problem for all Borderlands games at the moment. It's just the way it is. And that's fine. But it was down the whole time we played. We started playing about 8 o'clock until like 1 a.m. And it's really frustrating because it's like, and it kept on popping up going, play it with your friends, it's better with your friends. It's like, I fucking would if the server was up.
Yeah.
Just fully taunting you.
But then they were like, we know you've all had a problem, so here, have a skeleton key. One
Wow.
skeleton key. I'm
Thanks,
like,
Gearbox.
yay. So I'm hoping tomorrow night we're gonna get into a team and like smash out a massive part of the story. So I have more to talk about that. But I have also played, and after listening to you guys chatting last week about it, I also played Tunic.
Hey.
So
God mode.
no, I didn't play on God mode because I didn't know how to, I like Tempest, I didn't know how to change it. So because I played it before listening to you guys chatting about it. And it's very cute. It's very cute. And I was thinking it was going to be harder, but then again, I don't think I'm that far into it. And also as well, you can like run away from enemies. You don't have to fight them all, so you can just go. I'm just gonna squeeze in over here. Whoosh. And I don't like the fact that people are calling it Soulsborne, a Souls-like, because do you know what came before Dark Souls and the Soulsborne games? That's exactly like this. The original Legend of Zelda.
I knew you was going to say that.
You can see their clear inspiration from the first Zelda game. You come out, take it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and you have that. It's not as big as Tunic, but you can go and explore anywhere you want. And then it will then progress into different parts of the game when you get bits to open up extra areas. But that game has always been explore, fight. You can do any dungeon in any way you want to do it. That's how you play that game. So them saying, "Oh, it's Souls like," it's like, no, it's Zelda-like. It's Zelda-like. And I also agree with you, like, I like the fact it's accessible, so you can play it on God mode if you want to.
When you find it.
When you find it. One thing that you guys did not mention, which I absolutely love and think is so freaking adorable, is the pamphlet. The pages of the pamphlet you get.
I hate it.
So
I hate it.
I don't know what it says. Don't know what it says.
It's so aggravating. I hate it so much.
The point, though, you're not supposed to know what it
Oh,
says.
yeah, I get that part. It's just like, it's just so unhelpful in every way, shape, or form. Like, it gives you a little map, but it doesn't help anything. I don't know where I am on this map.
That's why you use the telescopes.
I don't know how to do
find out where you
that.
are.
Those telescopes can go fuck themselves as well.
So really, you're just not playing the game properly and it's making you angry. Okay.
Yeah, but it's the game's fault.
I think I've got some kind of like nostalgia goggles because it reminds me of the NES pamphlet that you look through and I'm like, that's just so cute. And I thought it was great. I loved it.
I absolutely love that you can chop all the trees and stuff down.
And that's the way they stop you from going places as well. Like,
yeah,
you have
when
to
you
get
don't have the swords, yeah.
You have to get the sword to then progress on the other side of the map. Again, do you know what that's like? Zelda. Stop calling it a Souls-like, because it's not.
No,
Souls-like...
it is a Souls-like game because it's the way it works. Its mechanics is a Souls-like game, so that's why.
I'm not feeling Souls-like in it. I'm feeling
you wait till you get to the first
just,
boss.
Maybe I'm just great at the combat, and I'm just like swish, swish, swish. You dead,
What we're saying is, Bendy wants to normalise Zelda-like games.
Zelda-like.
Yeah. Do you know Breath of the Wild is a Zelda-like game?
Really?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it went back to the original version of Zelda. Like, you can explore and do the game any way you want to, and if you wanted to go fight Ganon straight away, you could do. So Zelda is like a Zelda-like game.
Really,
Funny
I should
that,
have left Bendy
Convenient.
to last because that would conveniently go into her news. But we're not going there.
Don't have to worry about. Don't worry. That's news time over there in the news time. And I played a little bit more of Guardians of the Galaxy as well. So that's
nice.
You'll hear a lot of Wonderlands from me in the next. Because what I did play was fantastic. Like, it's so pretty. The game is just gorgeous, and just the drops of things that I understand because I'm a D&D player, but my friends do not get because they don't play D&D. It's like, I understand that reference.
I understood that reference.
I get it. I'm excited to see how the multi-classing works, and I love the spell mechanic. Like, I really, really enjoy that. So you don't have grenades, you have spells, and I'm like, that's super fucking cool. Really enjoying that. So I automatically go for a grenade. I just get my wand out and go. I've gone for the spellcasting class. I've forgotten what it's called, but
Spell shot.
yeah, and I like the way you've got like crossbows that use pistol rounds, and I just the integration of Dungeons and Dragons with this game is like two things that I absolutely adore. Borderlands and Dungeons and Dragons have been smashed into one,
Yep.
and I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to get back in and play even more of it, and just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
give me Wonderlands. And
Yep.
also Ashley Birch as Tiny Tina. She's always been great, but I love you, Ashley, and I can't wait to watch your one shot
I was going to
on
say, have you seen that
Critical
they've
Role.
done a one shot on
Yeah.
Critical Role?
Yeah, I can't wait to. I've got to wait till Friday to watch it, unfortunately. But yeah, very good. What you guys been up to? What you guys been doing?
Temp, what you been playing, boy?
Boy,
Boy?
right. The huge. So Overwatch, been grinding it. You know,
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
definitely. Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
There's no building in it now. It's an
No
actual
building,
game.
yep.
Ah, Run
uh,
news Tempus, why don't you? Gee.
uh,
I have a theory about this. I think it's an April Fool's. I think they'll bring back building on Friday.
I think they're just going to give you both. You can choose. You can either
Yeah.
play no building or play original. I think you'll get both.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Overwatch.
Fucking Fortnite. I have been continuing on with my Witcher 3. I am on the Blood and Wine DLC. I'm in Tucson. I never want to leave.
I don't want to work anymore.
Tucson is one of the nicest looking
Tucson is
places
beautiful. It is
in a video
absolutely
game
beautiful.
I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
Literally, I walked in, like, and obviously it does like the whole windmill Cyclops fight thing, and then you kind of take it all in. I showed someone earlier when they were in the stream, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is beautiful! Look at the blue sky." I went, "Yeah, look at this." I stopped to my horse, turned my camera, and just the castle up against the mountain. It was so good.
Skybox Vista in that game is just beautiful. It is without a doubt the best looking Vista I think I've ever seen. And
mate,
it's including Elden Ring.
I'm going to do something here. And everybody who's listening has got to hold me to this. I want to start playing The Witcher. Witcher 3.
Yes, do it.
I started it and never finished.
Only
so...
if you cosplay Kira.
What?
Oh, mate. I definitely
Cosplay
want to do that
Kira.
anyway. I wanted to do that when I first met her, when I first started playing it through, but I haven't played it for a good while. And I think because I'm playing Wonderlands once, maybe twice a week, I'll drop into The Witcher, so I can really fully appreciate how much you two love it. Hold me to it, both of you.
What
I come back next week.
What we really need when Tempus does his Kara cosplay is for me to do Triss, Bendy to do Kira, and then we need to find a Yen. Hol, call me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Tucson, except for the stupid plants.
Oh my god, those plants!
So annoying. And everything kicks my ass there as well. Even though I'm quite like a high level.
Just wait until you go further into the wild. You'll wish you were never born.
Well, I mean, I'm like spoilers. Oh, actually, I won't, because Bendy's going to be playing it. I won't. I'm halfway through. I've kind of started the main quest, but I'm spending most of my time doing side quests at the moment, which is the Witcher way.
No, and I'm telling you, with Blood and Wine, you have to do side quests to level yourself up properly, because it is fucking difficult. Even on easy, it's difficult.
I quite like the fact as well, like there's one side quest where it was like, go and see this guy, and he's like, we'll pay you for doing these for doing all like clearing out bandits and whatever. And then suddenly 15 markers appear on the map, and I looked at it, and every marker is actually a question mark on the map.
Yep.
So they're not just giving you 15 extra things to do. They're like, if you go and actually do the little question marks around the map, we'll reward you for it with money.
Yeah.
Which I quite liked. And I've just done a thing with a vineyard between two feuding people. So that was kind of the same thing.
The wine.
Yeah.
That's the wine of Blood and Wine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
see.
yep.
My
And
goodness.
I won't say anything about the blood part.
And the blood.
Jesus.
Probably a lot of it. Your Geralt, you're probably pulling the
but
entrails out.
All I'll say is
But-
they're not sparkly.
no. I did actually play something new that I downloaded off the Game Pass.
Was it something
Yesterday.
Tempus?
Kind of. It's
Tempus
called
Weird Corner.
it's called the Nonnery Games. I don't know if you've seen it. It came on Game Pass like last week or something. And I thought I'll give it a go. It's like a kind of mystery escape room puzzler kind of thing, like a
Okay.
point and click puzzler, but you have to escape, find the clues, do things to escape out, whatever. And I loaded it up and it looked really cool and everything, but I couldn't help but sit there going, this just looks really like a DS game. Like the screen, it just reminded me as if I was looking at a DS game. It weren't until later when I looked something up. It was originally a DS game in like 2009 or something like that, and it's been redone and brought out on this.
Very good.
But the Nonnery game, you are Junpei. You wake up on a boat that's a replica of the Titanic, and basically you get told that you meet up with 8 other people. You get told that you've got a bracelet with a number on. To get through doors, you have to use. It's really weird. Like you have to use like route numbers or whatever to get through. You have to make the route number, and however many people make that number go through, and blah blah blah. It's quite cool in that way, but like you can tell it's kind of one of these Nintendo DS style games because of the fact that I did the first room and I think it was about an hour of me just sitting there listening to them talk.
Oh.
But like before I then got to like the next room and that. So it did go on a little bit. It kind of made me feel a bit like style wise, it was a bit like what's his face? Ace Attorney. Bit like that, yeah. But it was good. I played it through. Bad ending. Why not? Turns out there's 6 endings. Won't be going for all of those. I'm not a completionist. I've played it. I've kind of seen what it is. I did look up what the other endings were.
Yeah.
And it's quite weird as well because I mean, I don't really know if it's a spoiler or such, but you have to get a certain ending before you can unlock the true ending. So you have to do something to play. You have to play through, get an ending, to then be able to play through it again and get the true ending.
I see.
But there's like 6 endings now. I think it only took me like 3, maybe 4 hours to play through, and I wasn't really rushing. So
fair enough.
But like the puzzles and that were quite fun. It's mostly around numbers and things like that. But the game itself, what I downloaded, it's actually a trilogy of games set around the number 9, and it's got 2 of them on it. The one I played was 999. So I think it was like 9 people, 9 hours, 9 doors.
Okay.
And then the other one, I can't remember what it's called now, but again, it's 9 characters.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to play through that one just to say I've done it.
Yeah.
But if you kind of like your puzzlers and things like that, but like you'll see straight away when I say like a DS game, you can just tell straight away. It was just made me laugh that it actually was a DS game at some point, but yeah, I've got a few other things downloaded to play in the future, but that's pretty much all I did. Nettle.
Yes, hello. So usual Destiny. As I said last week, we're done with the seasonal content, but there's still a lot of the actual DLC like extra stuff that you always get with Destiny. This week we were doing. You can get these like little moth ornaments that are placed in and around the world, the new map, and you just get like a tribe for it. It's nothing important. But here's hoping they give us a moth plushie because they're so cute. So that's what me and Andy did with that. And the new game that I played was a very short click and kind of click and go on your way. A Memoir Blue. A Memoir Blue by Cloisters Interactive and published by Annapurna. And I cannot tell you how much this game is such an Annapurna game. It's just exactly what they publish. They are very niche in what they publish, and this game is one of them. But it is about it's a story game. It's not, if you're going into this game thinking about action adventure, it ain't. It's a very chill, relaxing click and point story game about a young woman who is, for whatever reason, she's a famous swimmer. I don't think that's got much to do with it, to be honest, but she's reminiscing through her life with her mother. Her mother isn't dead or anything. She's just deciding to go through and reminisce about her life with her mother, and the good and the bad. They show a bit of both. As I say, it's only an hour long. It's very chill. It's one of those things where the music just surrounds you and you're there. You're in the game being that character, but only with a mouse. And it's funny. I really liked it. There's a review up on our YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Find the links below. I gave it a good solid 8 dicks out of 10. There were some things I thought it could do better. Sometimes I thought I was a bit lost in the story. Like, I didn't quite understand where the story had got to at that point. I mean, quickly came back around and I realised what was happening, but it was a bit like, could have done that a little bit better. But it really got me at stages as someone who was a very sporty girl in my youth. There was a lot of things that happened between her and her mother, and I was just sat there going, yes, this has happened to me. I understand this completely. Is this my life? Oh my god!
Memoir Blue.
It's me. It's about me. Which is clearly what they were going for. It's a story about young people, people reminiscing about their younger times with their parents. I think particularly it will hit home more with women, and I think that was very evident by other reviews that I read of the game by other, slightly more well-known internet reviewers, shall we say. And I checked, and every single male reviewer had put in their review, yeah, it's an alright game, but I didn't really understand the story. Not in the sense that they sometimes got lost with the story. It clearly didn't resonate with them. They didn't understand what she has gone through and why she has started to reminisce about it. But every femme reviewer was very clearly understood what was happening. And I think that was the dynamic there. Like, it was very clearly meant for female presenting people who had gone through very similar things in their life, rather than dudes who hadn't really gone through the same thing. It's a different relationship, dudes and their fathers, than girls and their mothers. It just is. So it was very clear and evident. It wound me up slightly because it was a very good story, and I just don't think they'd understood it properly. But yeah, it's actually a very cheap game. It's currently on our favourite Game Pass. So if you got it, it's free. But if not, it's like between £5.99 and £7.20 on all platforms. So it's an hour long. Just sit, chill, go through it, listen. Great music, if anything else. And it's an hour out of your life. If you don't like it, it's an hour. It's not gonna harm you. But I would say if you want something, it's kind of like Unpacking in that sense. If you want just a little time away from life, to get it. It's good. It's good. I really enjoyed it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But that's it for me this week. And I'm going to give a caveat warning for the next few weeks. Ain't going to be a lot played.
Have to play more on
I think you have a valid excuse.
Not an excuse. But yes, that was what we played this week. Fun. That was nice.
Huzzah.
Bit of AAA, bit of indie. Let's go on to the news, shall we? Tempus, let's start with you.
Bum, 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 bum.
What have you got for us?
So, speaking of Game Pass,
Oh.
Sony / PlayStation have just announced their what we spoke about weeks ago, their version of Game Pass, which is now going to be called PlayStation Plus Essential. Well, it's PlayStation Plus, but they've all got different tiers. So initially, it's being launched in June, by the way. So we've not got actually long for that. But in regards to it, so PlayStation Plus Essential is basically what we pay for now on PlayStation Plus. You get your 2 monthly games, you get exclusive discounts, cloud storage, online multiplayer player. Price doesn't change for us at all. Then you've got PlayStation Plus Extra, which is $10.99 a month, which is what we pay for Game Pass. In this, you get everything you get with the Essential, plus you get up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studio catalogs and third-party partners. I'm kind of hoping that this is the reason that the PlayStation collection that we got on the PlayStation 5 didn't get any more love because they were working on this, and they're going to kind of basically incorporate everything under this one umbrella. Because I imagine things like God of War and Horizon, like the first Horizon, and a lot of the other exclusives like that will end up on this tier. But for that price, it isn't too bad. Now, the one that we was really umming and ahhing about was the premium. We thought it was going to be absolutely mammoth in pricing. It's only actually $13.49 a month, which isn't bad, I don't think, for like considering what £11 for the other one. So it's £2.50 extra, and this gives you via cloud streaming 340 PS3 games. Sorry, right. This is the weird thing, right? So it adds a catalog of up to 340 games, including PS3 games, which are only available via cloud. Now, this is the odd thing. You can download the PS4, you can download the PS5, you can download all the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP games. So you'll be able to play PSP games on here. You can do both cloud and download on that, but you can only stream the PS3 games. That's kind of I mean, unless there's something really technically different from the PS3 to everything else.
So
It,
PS1 to PS2 backward compatibility worked, didn't it?
yeah,
That was a big thing. They had backward compatibility then. You got your PS3, that had no backward compatibility at all. PS4 was not compatible with PS3, if I remember rightly. But then we got PS4 does work on PS5. So there was something fundamentally with the PS3 that was different. So that makes sense to me that is the cloud gaming
yeah.
one.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I get that there must have been something with the PS3 to make it that way. It's just it's really odd that they couldn't find a way around it. But I mean, if you can do cloud streaming, I
Yeah.
mean, I will say I've tried cloud streaming on the PlayStation before. It's not the best. But still, I'm not being funny. If you've got decent internet for $13.49 a month, you've got access to basically PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PSP games for $13.49 a month. Now, a lot of people that I've been talking, like we've seen talking to, and we've had a conversation about it in our Discord, by the way, link down below if you'd like to join us for some discussions. Obviously, they were talking about it as well. Is like they yes, it's a good price, but they want to it'd be nice to see a list of these potential games that are going to be available for them to then make a decision whether paying, again, I know it's only £2.50, but paying the extra £2.50 to maybe play some PlayStation games that are probably not the ones that you'd probably look at. You know, I mean, there are some great games from like the original, and especially PlayStation 2. I think PlayStation 2 had some brilliant games. But if you're getting some kind of low tier stuff, you know, you might only want to pay the £11 because I'm not being funny. I think it. I kind of feel it might be a little weird in the way they've done it. Like if it was me, I'd have done it so that the PS4, PS5 games are on the higher tier, considering they're the newer games. You know, I mean that might just be me,
Yeah.
but
The thing
whatever.
is,
Go on.
a lot of these games, I mean, even though it's in the cloud, even though they're streaming it, a lot of these games will have to be able to be run on that system. So there's going to have been work put into it on games that no longer have any money going into them. So it kind of makes sense that you're having to pay more to get that service rather than the PS5 games, which are already published and made with the money that they're being made in. So
yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. But again, like I think it all just comes down to the fact that I think it is a reasonable price, even if you did it for 1 month and it wasn't very good, and you drop down to the other tier.
it's
What's it going to hurt
competitive.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
£2.50 more for all of those things is competitive.
yeah.
People will get it for the nostalgia of a load of those games, if anything else.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
being funny.
definitely.
I will upgrade to because I pay the regular one now, but I will upgrade to that happily for that price.
So
And again, I mean, it'd be nice if we got some kind of list, not maybe a full list, but maybe here's our top games that are coming out from each of these systems. That might sway me. If if they're not that good, again, I might only go to the 10.99 one.
yeah.
But it feels like it's something you can just change monthly. This month I'll do a few months on the bigger one, play these games I've wanted to play for ages. Once you've played all the ones you kind of want from the back catalogue, just drop down again.
Yeah.
You know, there is a thing as well with PlayStation Now, because PlayStation Now is integrating into the PlayStation Plus service.
Yeah.
So here is PlayStation Now will transition into the new PlayStation Plus offering and will no longer be available as a standalone service. PlayStation Now customers will migrate over to the PlayStation Plus Premium with no increase to their current subscription fees at launch. So, because I know you can people buy like years, like a year worth of
Yeah.
whatever memberships and stuff. So it sounds like for however long you've got left on your PlayStation Now subscription, you'll get the second tier for no extra cost on your, because I think separately it's £7 and £9. I think that's right. It's either 7 and 9 or 7 and 8, but even still, that's like 15, £16 a month. So that's still more expensive if you was paying for both of those beforehand than the new top tier that they've got going. So you're saving money anyway,
Yeah.
which I think is just gonna be. I think it's gonna make people that do get both just pay that top fee anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is just going to be a case of seeing what games go like they give us at launch of it. 'Cause I'm not being funny. They're offering over 700 games potentially on this thing, and that is not a small catalog to look through.
That's absolutely huge.
Yeah, so it'll be cool to kind of see. Like I said, I don't particularly need to see a full list. Just give me a list of like the top rated games from every system that you're putting on there, and I'm not being funny. It'll probably sway more people than it won't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm quite excited. We've only got 3 months. Over
Yeah.
that 2 months if it's
2.5
June.
months.
So we'll hopefully get more news on that as it comes out. So
Be good for
Excited.
those people who have the PlayStations.
Have the PlayStations. Yes.
Not me.
oh.
But if I had a PlayStation, I'd get that. I'd be all over that.
Well, you think about it, when we first spoke about this, when it first broke, we kind of we were estimating that this top tier was going to be like £25.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like
Much cheaper.
£11.50 cheaper than what we were
Yeah.
estimating it at. The thing is
So
that Go on, sorry.
You carry on.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. So such politeness here. You sent another thing about the premium stuff not being on there.
Oh
Is that like
yes.
new releases?
So yeah, so whereas Microsoft, you get their exclusive day one release, like your
Yup.
Halo and your Forza,
Mhm.
pretty much their only things. PlayStation won't be doing that. You won't get the big AAA exclusives going onto this thing, and I kind of get it because they have a lot of these big AAA games, like they're
Yeah.
exclusive to PlayStation.
Them.
Yeah.
And if they did put all of them on there, it would. I think it'd be like they've basically come out and said it'd be madness for us to do it. That we'd, it's a lot of money to make these games, and then to just. I think the way what they actually came out and said was you probably wouldn't get the same degree of commitment and level of quality if it was being made to just go on a thing. I mean, I get what they're saying. People have come out and said, well, Xbox is like Microsoft is already winning because you get their exclusives on there. But I mean, like I said, what they're big AAA titles now, Forza and Halo, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the same.
No, so
not.
it is a completely different thing. I mean, they've got Gears of War as well. Sorry, I'll give them that. But
Yeah,
like,
but you don't know what's coming out from as exclusives from their
no,
purchase studios though. But will they come out day one? You don't know.
no. Well, you think
So,
about it, if they've got Blizzard and stuff,
Well, yeah.
you know,
It's a different
I mean, like,
frontier now.
yeah. Well, this is most of this is all just speculation
Oh yeah.
from us anyway, and it's at the end of the day, I could be talking out my arse, which I probably am, but yeah, like they've said they're not doing it, and I get why they're not doing it, you
Mm,
know. And I kind of, in the same vein, I get why Microsoft have done it because they want people to be on the Game Pass.
yeah.
So to offer Halo Day One on the Game Pass, they're going to have people buying it to play it.
Yeah.
Whereas
Absolutely.
Sony are probably fine to still rely on people paying full price for that AAA game. I think you might get
For
some
now.
of their smaller indie games go on there, maybe.
Hopefully, because I think this is the thing with PS. It doesn't really show off their like any indie games very well, in my opinion. Like Xbox seems to be really good at giving you some really unknown but kind of funky and cool indie games, whereas PS is just like, we'll just put them. They're kind of down here. Go find them. You'll like them if you play them, but
Yeah. Well, we've got,
not
like I
really
said,
promote it.
it's only 2 months away now, so we'll know. We'll
we're
get more
watching.
news
We're
before it goes.
watching
Yeah.
PlayStation. We will judge.
Always watching.
I imagine there'll be like a state of play or something before it launches,
Hope
kind
so.
of showing off. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Some kind of, you know, something to show off what we're going to get for our money. So hopefully we'll see that soon. But yeah, that's my news.
Very exciting news. Bendy! We're
I'm
breathing over to you.
so that was real bad.
Don't judge me.
That's my secret, Nettle. I'm always
Yeah,
judging
that's not a secret.
So I'm a very sad Zora right now, which is the Zelda equivalent of a sad panda. Because
Can't believe you just
there was a announcement from the producer of Breath of the Wild 2, or the unnamed Breath of the Wild, as we call it, in the biz. In the biz.
In the
that
know.
there is a delay in the release of Breath of the Wild 2, whatever it's going to be called. until spring 2023. And do you know what? I'm all for a delay. I would much rather them people studios treat their stuff with respect and not work them to the bone and still get a good game from it. I would much prefer that because I guess have empathy,
Yeah.
But yes, and also they said it would come out in 2022, but they never said when. So now we have spring 2023. So
And then in
I'm
spring
guessing
2023, we'll have winter to 23rd, 2024.
and then they will preemptively release a thing saying it's going to be Breath of the Wild 3 when actually there's 6 years of development away. CD Projekt Red. What? Uh, sorry.
She went there. She went there.
Wow.
I went there.
Just shitting on our news from last week.
I actually listened to the full podcast today, you guys, because I wanted to make
Took
sure
you
I
that
wasn't
long, didn't it?
Yeah. It was my podcast listening day today, so I caught up on all my podcasts. But yeah, so that's been delayed. But as I said, we'll likely get a better game or get the same kind of game, but also then not work everybody to the bone.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. They gave us a little bit more like in-game stuff from what I think, and there's rumors flying around the Twitterverse and everywhere else about the Master Sword. It looks a bit different. So they showed off just a scene where Link was holding the Master Sword. It looks a bit gnarly, and then it has like a glow to it. And that game I've never finished because I forgot I had it, and I hate it. Skyward Sword.
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. I definitely hate Majora's Mask. It's the worst game ever made. There's rumors around saying that there could be something within the sword, like Fi from Skyward Sword. So you might start seeing where it is actually placed in the timeline. I don't know. But yes, I'm sad that I have to wait a few more months, but I'm also, you know, it has to be delayed, it has to be delayed. So what I'm saying to everybody out there who gets angry about a game being delayed, be a human for a second and think, what if your boss came to you and said, you're working 24 hours a day for the next 2 months because of that deadline? And then think how you would feel if that happened to you. Game devs are people.
They're not just for Christmas.
No.
So I'm in the same kind of boat as you. I don't mind the game being delayed. I'm a little, you get a little disappointed because you're excited, you're looking forward to it. But I'd rather a game get delayed and then the game actually be what they want it to be than it, they release it and it just needs patch after patch and whatnot.
It's rare that Nintendo release a game that is buggy and things like that. So it just shows that they need that extra time. If they're not happy, there must be something
It's not
wrong.
very often that Nintendo will delay a game either.
No.
But like, I know, like we're looking at it now. It's like, oh my god, it's been delayed a year, but it's not potentially delayed a year. I know they said it was releasing this year. I reckon it wouldn't be till like end of this year.
I would have thought they'll try to go back to their Zelda release dates. So historically, release dates for Zelda games is November. So if you go back and look back, the North American dates for Zelda games, many of them are November. Breath of the Wild was April, but that was to coincide with the release of the Switch.
Yeah.
Was it March? It might have been March. But yeah, they moved it because of the release of the Switch. So if you think maybe they're trying to do is then release it 2023 March, technically spring, so or
Yep.
April. But if they need, as I said, if they need that extra time, they need that extra time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Give
Like, I
me-
mean, kind of like my point was like it sounds like they've delayed it a year, but I don't actually think it's been delayed a year. I think it's been delayed maybe a few months because we never actually knew when it was being released. I reckon
Yeah.
they've just bought themselves like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. Giving themselves a little bit extra time.
Yeah.
Which is what
Yeah.
some people need sometimes. If you've ever creeping up to a deadline and you know you're not gonna meet it, and it's like you need to crawl to your boss and go, "Hey boss, I need a couple of extra days to hit that deadline. Otherwise, I'm gonna die." You know, feel for them, feel for the developers. And at the end of the day, if they delay it and we get an excellent game out of it, that's
Yep.
the best thing. If they didn't delay it and we got a shitty game out of it, we'll be really unhappy. So, you know, wait those extra few months. Be a
Absolutely.
human.
Absolutely.
So, even though I'm sad panda, sad Zora, I want them to be good. So,
I think we should go back to a previous episode of the Unnamed Gaming Podcast where we were talking about awards. And we were talking about the fact that a certain game that we just mentioned was put up for the 2022 Looking Forward To game. And I seem to remember someone saying, I think that's going to be delayed until 2023.
was it you?
Yes! Of course it was me.
It was Craig.
It didn't win though, so
It
therefore
didn't.
it's fine.
But it's easy to see when things are going to be delayed. And if you get not even a name and a very vague date, I'm telling you, it will be delayed.
It was a very vague date.
It was
so
an
then-
extremely vague date.
This is a less vague date.
It's
so
slightly
therefore
less vague,
probably,
yeah.
slightly less vague.
Yeah, we at least know it's kind of what kind of time of year it's going to be.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sleep now and not wake up until spring 2023.
You can go to sleep after the wedding. You're not allowed to go to sleep now.
Okay. After Nettle's wedding, I'll go into hibernation and I'll
That
wake
should-
up when Breath of the Wild is out.
That should give you enough time to finish Tiny Tina's.
See?
Yeah, probably.
Well, lovely. I'm sure there are a lot of slightly disappointed Zelda fans, but I'm sure there are also even more looking forward to the fact that it will be good without exploiting the workforce.
Yes. Stop exploiting
Don't
workforces,
stop
please.
exploiting workforces. My news! I actually have three pieces of news. Two of them because they're quite small. So, Unpacking. We love Unpacking on this podcast. We want to be sponsored by Unpacking. Actually, I'd like Unpacking to come and pack my house and then we can play real Unpacking in real life. But they have just announced that they are in league with Limited Run Games and they are bringing out physical versions, actual physical versions of the game. And not only that, you can unpack on with the anyway. Not only is it all of them, it's like, Xbox, PC, and Switch, but they also showed physical versions of PlayStation 5 and 4. So we have it official, and they have confirmed that a digital version will also be coming out on PlayStation. So PlayStation can finally play Unpacking. Yay!
Finally.
Their first game on the new Slames Plus. Slames Plus.
Flame?
PlayStation,
Play-
Space Station
play-
Plus. Yeah.
Play Plus.
PlayStation Plus. Play Plus. Yeah, that. 'Cause PlayStation Plus.
Hopefully you'll
See-
be able to play Unpacking on it, because that would be excellent.
If we do get sponsored with Unpacking, I'd like them to create a DLC where they unpack our podcast.
Can you
Stuff.
imagine? So, okay,
Some bits of our background.
I don't know
Yeah.
if any of you saw this clip
Unpack.
of Tom Drower, who is a
Yeah,
big fan of the podcast, we love you, Tom.
I was watching the stream when he said it.
He was playing Unpacking, and there's obviously that one where the big cosplay, like Sailor Moon cosplay, is on the plinth, and he was just like, "Is this Nettle's room?" And I was like,
Aw. It's cute.
"It is my room."
It's not Sailor Moon though.
Close enough.
It's an arcade.
I did Sailor
I'm the
Moon
one
like 6
too.
years ago. Bugger off. Yeah. Basically, it's
Very
me and
out of shot,
Bendy. We've got too much cosplay in our room. But not only that, they are also, because the music, we talked about the music, how calming and lovely it is. It's just there and it's just like so chill. They're bringing it out on a limited edition vinyl. I love
Oh, cool.
vinyls. Yes. Yes, that is very cool. So, you know, if you like Unpacking and you wanted, like, because I will say the physical editions come in an actual, it's a proper, you know, special edition set. So there's a little bit of everything there. You get a little bit of plushies and everything. It's a cute little set. Yeah, do it. It's cute. It helps the game studio a bit more as well because it's extra money for them. And
Can
everybody
we
loves
get an
Unpacking.
Unpacking too?
Well, I
With the
mean, if
unnamed
you
Gaming level.
the unnamed gaming level. Unnamed packing level.
We will advertise the shite out of that game.
Sponsorship, we'll just do
Yes,
it. But yeah, if that's an interest to you, ever wanted to play Unpacking, especially on PlayStation now, if you want to play it, now is the time. Get the physical edition if you really, if you love it like us. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I probably will get the physical editions and the
I'd have to
vinyl
get it for
because
my
I
Switch.
love the vinyl.
I can't wait for it to. I don't know how your background's gonna look later, but just like the box just behind you, next to whatever that statue is.
Shelves.
Yeah.
But yes, that's one piece of news. My second piece of news is, this is a little old. It's a couple of weeks old. I'm not going to lie. But Supermassive Games have announced their new game. Which
Quarry!
I feel like I've accidentally named this in the past when I shouldn't have. But yes, The Quarry. It is a sister, a brother. It's a sibling to their first game, which I've forgotten the name of.
Until Dawn.
Thank you. Until Dawn, which of course is the very, like, the longer version of the Dark Pictures one. It's looking like it'll be about 8 or so hours long. It's got some very famous horror actors. In particular, it's got David Arquette in it, who we all know from Scream.
Do you know, when I saw the thing, I was actually more impressed that it's got Ted Raimi in it.
Yes, Ted Raimi as well. Yeah.
I love Ted Raimi's quality.
It's being published by 2K Games, who are clearly going to have a very good year this year with Wonderlands and now this.
When's it released?
It is going to be released on the 10th of June.
Wow, so it's not far then.
It is not far.
Far.
Now, this is public knowledge as far as I know.
Far as you know.
This could be redacted during editing.
Might be.
Redundant!
This was originally meant to be on Stadia.
Oh, really?
And it got
I
pulled.
got shit canned.
Yeah. And it got given back
well, it's Stadia,
to...
isn't it?
It got given back to Supermassive Games. And again, do what you want with it. So this has actually
Wow.
been in development
Give
for
it
a
to
long time.
Blimey, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause what's Stadia like? 5-6 years old now as well. Been out a while, I think. When was Stadia?
This has been here for a while, and it only just got released. And I've known about it a while, and I've had to keep my mouth shut.
Oh, maybe not. 2019.
The one in the
For
bin.
years. Yeah, but it would have
The
been
one in
before
the
that.
bin.
It would have been before that. I've got really blurry. My cameras. And the other side goes, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, this has been in development for a while. It's only just been released, and yeah, I've known about it for a while, and I've had to keep my
So-
mouth shut. I'm not allowed to tell you about it.
She didn't even
if-
tell me.
I didn't.
Didn't even tell me.
I didn't.
Being a very good.
I was good. I was a
Because I'm
good
terrible at
girl.
keeping secrets. So you know not to tell me.
But yeah, I mean, this is going to literally be like an Until Dawn. It's going to be like that. It's going to be scary. Apparently, I know who the bad guys in it are. I'm not allowed to say. Sorry, guys.
Surely that spoils it for you playing it, though.
I am never playing this game.
gonna play
I
it
don't
now.
play these
I'll never play
games.
it.
You're doing it on stream, then I'll tell you.
I tried to play Little Hope. I got halfway through, and that entire 2 hours of gameplay is just me screaming. I'm not playing this game.
We'll get our friend Ellie to do it.
Ellie
'cause
will
she
play it,
absolutely
yeah.
loves all of these games were Supermassive. The Dark Pictures anthology, she's like, yeah, love it. She was
So
so
are we-
excited for Little Hope when that came out. So
Are
she'll
we
tell us.
hiring? I say hiring. We will pay her in kindness
Yeah.
to stream for us on our channel. Yeah.
We'll get to record it.
Unfortunately, she won't stream. So, but
We'll
she'll
get her
tell
to play
us,
it, and we'll
so.
give her a review. She'll do a review for us.
I really do. I do want to do one of the like remote playthroughs that you can do on all the Dark Pictures anthology games. So you can like change who makes the decision and stuff like that.
You mean
I
the
think that
couch
would be
one where
fun.
you give other
Yeah,
people the
you move
remote
I
going
forgot what
on? Yeah.
It's just it's just called a watch party, right?
No, I
You
think
can
it's
do a
called
watch
Couch
party online.
Party. I think it's called Couch Party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like
'cause
to do that for
the online one is only 2 players, isn't it?
Yes, the online one is like you get a buddy system where you do the different stories that go on at the same time, but the
Yeah,
couch
'cause-
one is literally you're all in the same room and you just pass the remote depending on which character is on the story thing, and then that person has to decide for it.
I feel like we should do that. We should do that as a group. I will protect you from the baddies.
No, you won't. You'll kill everyone.
Yes, I will. I absolutely will.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're going to do that, you should probably wait for their next Dark Anthology one, which is The Devil in Me, which comes out in.
So I've just seen bits of it, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's based on
yeah.
the Murder House. What's it called? It's an actual thing.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, H.H. Holmes. It's based
H.H.
on that.
Holmes.
Oh, mate.
Based on that.
That's
Oh,
brilliant.
yes.
Yeah.
I am okay. I'm strange, but I'm fascinated with H.H. Holmes and what he did. Like, he got away with it too long, but it kind of makes sense. Oh, I'll go into it because I know so much about H.H. Holmes. It's-
But there you
listen
go.
out for
There you know.
Bendy's Murder Mystery podcast.
So I tried to start one once. I tried to start a true crime podcast, and it didn't go anywhere because I couldn't find time to record with my friend. So
Oh,
maybe coming up.
The
maybe I'll try and
Unnamed Murder
reenact.
Podcast.
that's it.
It was actually called the Serial Killer Files, as in
Yeah.
files as PH.
Yeah.
Like as in lover of the
Yeah,
serial killer.
I remember
files.
that.
It was
I
a play
watched
on
it.
words.
I watched that episode.
Well, I laugh too much when talking about true crime, so that's yeah.
I like true crime. I think it's brilliant.
Moving swiftly on from Bendy's murder spree.
Moving swiftly on from my murder spree, yeah.
But yes, there's something for you horror fans there. Something to look forward to both mid-year and then at the end of the year as well. But my last bit of gaming news is a follow-on from a bit of gaming news from last week. I reported on the fact that 4 quite big indie studios had some very serious allegations of a toxic work culture and some other rather nasty allegations as well. One of those that had come out was Funamina. Their co-founder had been accused of very bad stuff, including at one point people locking themselves in a room so she couldn't get in. And they have announced today that they are closing as of this Friday. The reason why they are closing is reported to be that they have lost funding. They were negotiating funding for their next project and they lost it because of the allegations that came out. And then at this point, I say allegations for legal purposes, but we all know that they're true because it's basically been said that they are by the co-founder, who is been said to have done the stuff. So, but yeah, and I think this is a
Feel
good.
sorry for all the people
This-
who work
they've-
there. Like, there's this one
so-
toxic person and just ruined a bunch of lives. Well
Yeah.
done, you prick.
Literally,
I hope you're fucking proud of yourself.
I am in a gaming, like an industry gaming chat where these people are like, as of this Friday, this is our last paycheck. That's it. We need work, people. Please, anybody, anywhere. And thankfully, other indie studios have all come and going. Yes, we have work for you. Look, guys, look, we have these jobs for you. Please come and apply to us. But it's like,
Yeah.
this should be the thing that if even for whatever reason you weirdo don't want to change because people are telling you you're doing it wrong, if you want to keep your studio, this is what happens if you do this. You will lose funding from people because they don't want to fund idiots, toxic dickheads. You're going to lose your studios if you don't change. One way or another, people will stop buying your games, or you will lose your funding from your publishers or other investment opportunities.
This is a prime example right there.
You've got to
Like,
change.
Yeah.
You can't
Got to
you
change.
cannot put people out of work for your own stupid selfishness. It's not fair. And yeah, I mean, it's not even a week later from these allegations coming out and they've already gone. So let this be an absolute lesson to all you shitbags out there who want to run a studio in the most disgusting way possible. There are repercussions and you will have to face them.
Good luck to all of those people that are now out of work. I hope you get work very soon in a workplace that respects you
Yes.
and is not toxic. So shout out to you guys. I really, really feel for you. And I don't feel for the prick in charge. You can fuck off.
Yep.
You can literally get in a fucking bin so I can set it on fire.
But yes,
My murder is coming out
she's
today.
really going for it. But that was just it's not the nicest story in the world, but I just wanted to follow on from last week's story because you don't often hear about repercussions unless they're £18 million worth of dollars worth of fines from San Francisco to Blizzard. You don't hear about repercussions happening a lot, but that is a very serious one that just shows it's not going to go
You're not
your
gonna get
way.
away with it.
You're not going to go away with it.
Yeah.
But you're also going to bring a load of people down with you for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
So.
And
Yes.
also a lesson to publishers and people giving funding. Do that. Like,
You know what? If
like,
you go, no,
don't fund toxicity.
If anything,
Yeah.
insist that the toxic person has to leave the company before you will give any more money.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was about to say. Like, surely these companies could still survive if they just outed the person that caused the issues. Surely there's a way to get rid of that person.
Absolutely, there always will be because there are always clauses about bringing studios and stuff into disrepute. So
because, like, obviously, this studio were looking for funding for this project that they had an idea for that they wanted to work with, so they had something to go. But this one person has now caused the studio to die, these people to lose their jobs, and this idea to potentially never be seen.
Yeah, it's gone. That's it.
So
yeah. Well, that was our news
it's
for the week.
shit.
It is a bit shit, isn't it? That was our news for the week. It was a bit. Some of it was okay. It felt a bit depressing in places. It did go like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we liven it up a bit with our discussion of the week? Because you may have noticed we aren't really doing specific. We aren't doing specific questions, which has an specific answer from us. We are going more into a debate or fisticuffs, whatever comes from it.
Yeah, we're not saying you will never ask questions again. It's just
I'll never ask a question.
because these are technically still questions.
They are questions, but they're more discussion topics than questions. There's no specific answer to them. So this is
what you're saying is I'm always right. Okay.
How do you mute people again in Discord? So our
Craig.
discussion topic of this week is, when does the love of a game turn into an addiction? And I think I was the one that actually put this in our radar a few months ago, because I know one of my very best friends got absolutely addicted to Skyrim, to the point where we couldn't get hold of her. She wouldn't come out of her room. She wasn't going to uni classes properly. She wasn't eating properly. She would just play Skyrim all the time. Nothing else. Wouldn't do anything else. She was just playing Skyrim, and her life degraded so badly for 2 or 3 months that it was like, you've got to stop playing now. You have just stop. You can't play anymore. You will ruin your life if you do.
Do I know this person?
You do.
Yeah, I know exactly who that is. Yep,
Yep.
I see that happening.
Yep.
Yep.
But it's like, it's that's one example, but I see so many examples of people who will not put a game down, even if it's killing them to play it, even if they hate it and they're getting angry at it and they think it's shit, but they will not stop playing it. And it's just horrible, because there are so many really good games out there, but they will not stop playing this really shit COD game. This is like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I honestly, I've deleted it. I've not played it in months.
I have as well. I had to. I had no room on my PC.
I just got bored of it. I'd been playing it for like a year, and it was just the same. I was just getting angry all the time over it. So, and I wouldn't have said I was addicted to it. I think I
No.
was just playing it because I was playing it with the people I wanted to play games with, and I think that's why I played it so much. But it just got so angry. Another game, on the other hand, though. This is like, from my point of view, I'm just going to interrupt you. A small, shooter game, maybe by the name of Overwatch, is potentially the biggest gaming addiction I have ever had, because I
Can
own
tell from
every
behind
piece
you.
I own every piece of Overwatch Lego. I have pops. I have little key rings of the figures. I don't know if you can see it. My phone background is an Overwatch character. My lock screen, if you'll see it, if it'll do it, is an Overwatch. It's an Overwatch character. I have a sleeve in the works. I'll even take my arm off to show you.
Da-da-da-da.
Ash, Cassidy, who's been renamed. You got Widowmaker, you got Tracer, you got Reinhardt, you got Anna, you've got Zenyatta. I'm in the works of doing that. When this is finished, I'm potentially doing a leg one as well, because there's so many characters.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I own Overwatch on the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. Even though I literally only play on the PlayStation at the minute, I do have over 900 hours on the Xbox, and I've recently switched to PC. I will soon be switching to the PlayStation, but I will soon be switching to the PC so that I can play competitive with Bandit and her friends. So, but the thing is, I love this game, but it makes me so angry. Like, the last few nights, I've gotten close to actually breaking a controller.
And this is the question. When does the love of the game turn into addiction? And I don't care what anybody says, an addiction is never a good thing. It can't be.
No.
It's the overconsumption of something.
I mean, I did go. I mean, before, so let's say, it wasn't last October, the October before, I literally played Overwatch every night. And I'd just been streaming maybe 4 months. And then I kind of prioritized streaming. So I was playing other games, and I didn't touch Overwatch for like 6 months. And then someone I met through streaming was like, "Oh, we should all get Overwatch and play it." And I was a bit like, I mean,
So get me
okay.
down that tunnel again.
Okay. I bought it on the PlayStation because that's what everyone had it on, and it was before crossplay come in. I'm so annoyed that crossplay's, a thing now, because I could have just used my mega account on Xbox. But I bought it on PlayStation, played it with them twice, and now I mean, to be fair, I'm lucky. Our other friend plays it a lot, so I have someone to play it with.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like I would always be playing with friends as well. That's what kind of I liked about it. I didn't mind playing it on my own, but it's just not as fun. You get more angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I can't honestly say I feel like I've been addicted to a game. I mean, Witcher potentially, because I do just want to play that all the time, but because I'm leaving it to streams, I think that's maybe like helped me a little bit. I did actually look on Twitch Tracker the other day, which was the thing that tells you how long you've been streaming games for. The Witcher 3 is now my top game, just overtaking Stardew Valley. So
that's quite the honour.
When I looked, it was like 0.4 of an hour in front of thing, but I've streamed like Witcher 3 days since then as well. So I'm maybe like 85 hours into Witcher.
Yeah, but... so I have been addicted to a game, but I was very young at the time. This is when I was like 13, 14. And I think I've said it before. I used to play a game called Midtown Madness 2, which was a little driving game. Now, I would play it all the time. I didn't get the choice of not going to school, so didn't play it then. But every time I got home, I'd be straight on it. All night, every Saturday, every Sunday, I'd be on it. To the point where my mum hid it from me, the disc, because this is the day where you had to have discs to play games, kids. And she hid it from me. And I got so angry that she hid it from me. And it was at that point that I was like, what am I getting so angry about not being able to play a game? And I realised it was because I was addicted to playing it. I had to play it in order to be okay. And ever since that point, I've never got to the point of having to play a game. Like, if I've got to the point where I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm going to go play this game, I sit back and I go, no, I'm not going to go play this game because I know where this rabbit hole leads. So I had experienced it at quite a young age, which, to be honest, there's going to be a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers who are in the same boat. There's a lot of games now, a lot of online games that you can play all the time and do the same thing over and over again, and it's not going to have any consequence for you playing it. So you're just going to keep on playing it. And Warzone, I'm going to talk about Warzone because it is Warzone. There are so many kids that are addicted to it that that have to play it all the time, and they are going to suffer from it. Not only from a conventional point of view and the social point of view, but the fact that there are other games to play that are just so much better, but they will just play Warzone because they are addicted to it. And I think there needs to be some sort of, you can only play a game, like you can only play a certain game for a certain amount of time a day. I do think there needs to be a lock on that. And that goes for everyone, because you should not be playing Destiny, Warzone, World of Warcraft, any game for like 8 hours a day. It's not good for you. Do other things. I'm not even talking about going outside and touching grass here. I'm just saying take a break from it for a couple of hours. Because if you're solidly just playing these games, there's no difference between that and taking drugs or alcohol or anything like that. It's an addiction. It's bad for you.
You think about it as well, like you hear the stories of kids that have spent thousands of pounds on their parents' bank account buying things on these iPad games and things like that.
Yeah.
That's where the addiction starts, because they need to open these boxes. They need to get a certain skin, so they'll spend the money to get it because their friends got it and they need it. And the thing is, at that age as well, is they don't really understand that it's an addiction.
You don't understand as a teenager, because you associate it with things like, oh, I want another piece of chocolate, so I'm going to have another piece of chocolate, I'm going to do that, or, one more bit of sweets, that kind of thing, because, kids are still a certain amount of innocent. Obviously, that's not true for everyone. Everyone's different, but general going, you are you're going to have your addiction to things isn't really an addiction per se. It is just you can have more and you're going to have more and that's fine. But you consume media to a certain extent. I guess this is all media, but at this point we're just going to talk about games, otherwise we'll be here all day. You know, you're going to consume all of these games. You consume a free game in particular, and you're just going to keep going. Premium. You just keep going and going and going and going and going. And where do you stop? When your parents say no, and you just associate that with your parents going, you can't do that thing. Are you going to listen to them? No. So there needs to be something that stops an addiction in gaming. And I will say the NHS has actually come to terms with the fact that there is addiction in gaming, not just gambling, in gaming. And there are therapies and courses that people now go on to stop them being addicted to playing games.
So, are you saying that is there a definition between an obsession and an addiction? Like, I get obsessed with games, but
you
I'm
put
not
them down
addicted
after
to
a certain amount of time. Obsession, like,
yeah. So if I know,
obsession is
if I
like
know-
everybody gets an
I can play-
obsession.
yeah. So I will play a game for like 7 hours in a day, but I know I'll go right. I've got to eat now, so I'm gonna put this away because I need to eat. Whereas, you know, the different an addiction is like your friend who was just like wasn't eating, wasn't going to lessons, wasn't washing yourself properly.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. A big problem is that just not doing anything else.
Yeah.
Your need to
Obsession
just play.
Obsession is just, I will only play this game only for like 5 days, but it's not the first thing you do when you get up in the morning. You know, you can go about your life, and then when you're ready, you'll go and play that game, and that will be the game that you play for a week because that's the game that you're obsessed with at the moment. Addiction used to be legally, when it was, this has changed now, but when I was being taught at school, addiction was if you get up in the morning and the first thing you do is take the substance that you're addicted to, then it's an addiction. And it's the same with gaming. It's the first thing you do when you get up is go straight back to that game, you were addicted to it.
You have if it affects your normal life and routine and that takes over, that's how I view addiction. So say if you're putting it to same as drug use, like you need that to function.
Yeah.
Or alcohol, you need to have a drink in the morning to then actually be able to do things. And then if it's too bad, then you can't go to work, you can't do the usual things that you would do to function as a human being. So like not eating, not washing, not going to work, all of those sort of things. And I do think that there is gaming addiction is a thing. Like you hear stories of like these people that have been addicted to game like dying or really, really sad. I read a story, a couple that were addicted to, I think it was World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's the base story that everybody
die.
Yeah, that's the story that everybody remembers from it.
You have to play a game other than taking care of your child, you got a problem. Got a little bit of a problem. But I'm glad they're being able to help people nowadays.
Yes,
like
so
actually viewing it as an addiction.
Yeah. So this was actually in late 2019 that it started, like the first clinic came about. And yeah, it's part of the NHS. The NHS has formally recognised it. And you can now go as part of national. They've put it under the National Problem for Gambling Clinic, which is a bit like, it's not gambling. It's not the same thing. But okay, at least it's being treated. Because I don't think the gaming community as a whole has understood how bad gaming addiction is. And I think we've swept it under the rug, and we like to say, well, everybody hates gamers because they think we have no social skills and they don't think we go out enough and blah, 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 blah. And of course that is true. There is a misconception about gamers in general. But I think because of that, we've swept some very serious issues under the rug by putting it under the people haters bracket. And I think we need to start talking about it a bit more. I do not think it's healthy. For example, there are a lot of very big streamers who will stream for like 24 hours and they will be gaming that entire time. And I think Elden Ring is actually a very good example of this. Over the last 3 weeks, have you guys checked how many the same streamers have been on for 24 hours or longer playing Elden Ring and streaming it? Because I have, and it's too many. It's horrific. You know, I'll go to bed, I'll wake up, and the same streamer is still streaming. I'll go to work, he's still streaming. I'll come back from work, and they'll still be streaming. It's really unhealthy. And yeah, you could be sitting there going, well, I'm taking toilet breaks and I am eating. But if you're sat on your ass for that amount of time, doing nothing, you're going to get some serious health problems. And it's because you're addicted to this game that you want to stream because you fear you're missing out on stuff if you don't. Let's just take it a day at a time. Like, you can play 2 hours at a time. That's absolutely fine. You're not going to miss anything out. You're going to finish the game at some point. It's just going to take you longer. But there's a serious problem that we just don't want to talk about as gamers.
We do. This is a public service announcement.
Public service announcement. Go outside, drink some
do an
grass,
intervention with that.
eat some broccoli.
You need to do that gamer that you know that is addicted. Just
Well,
get
thankfully,
them to lay in the grass.
thankfully, the one that I know doesn't have that problem anymore. But there are plenty of people who do.
We know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a topic that
topic,
I can see it. It's always bubbling underneath the surface. Whenever a new thing comes out for a game. I mean, I'm a Destiny player and I'm a Destiny streamer, and I see people play it way too much. And then they do the thing where they go on hating it because after 3 weeks they've played everything because they've been playing for 3 weeks solid and doing nothing else. But they will still play it, and then they moan, and they hate themselves, and they hate everyone, and you can tell that their personality has changed completely from loving the new content to having to play the same content over again after 3 weeks because they played it to death. It's horrible. It's just stop. It's fine. You don't have to play a game to death in the first 3 weeks it comes out. It's part of a wider topic that needs to be addressed. FOMO is a thing in the gaming industry and it leads to addiction and it needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Go outside.
This has just been a Nettle moaning about stuff this week.
Go outside. The weather is, I mean, it's now on the turn the other way and we're probably going to get snow. But snow is nice. So just get some vitamin D, go outside, smell the grass. Unless you've got hay fever, don't do that.
Don't do that if you've got hay fever.
Or take an antihistamine before outside. Put on sunblock. Don't forget to put on sunblock though. Protect your skin. But there is more to gaming and streaming. And we're allowed to see people now. So
I mean, you don't have to see people. You can just poke them with a stick if you want.
I mean, you can stand in the garden and talk to them on the phone.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yes.
Yes.
But like, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, if you still want to do gaming, there's still other things you can do outside of that. Like, for example,
I'm not saying you should stop gaming whatsoever. What I am saying is you should not be playing the same game for a significant amount of hours.
Well, we've got a gaming event coming up in a couple of weeks in London called WASD Live.
Why don't you tell us about that, Tempus?
I will.
Buttons that you press on the PC, right?
Yes. So it's quite cool because they're a new event. They're in Tobacco Dock. So you can get it on like the DLR. It's kind of like that area. But it's like a gaming convention where you get to meet and talk to studios. 2K will be there. Devolver. There's a few others, but they're not in my brain at the moment. But there's Sega, yes. But you'll be able to talk to people and like try out some new games and that. But not only that, there's a tabletop section which I got an email about today. And if you like that kind of thing, there is actually for I think it's £7 a ticket. There's actually like a live show of people playing the Dread tabletop RPG. Have you ever played? Have you ever heard of Dread?
As in the comic book / film series, Dread. Or
No.
No.
Like Dread, Dread.
Yeah.
No. Basically, it's an
Yeah.
RPG game where you just sit and you talk and everything, but all of your consequences are made through taking blocks out of a Jenga pile.
I love
That's
this idea.
chaos
I
incarnate.
want to play this.
I
I want to
print-
play this so bad.
I have the book. I printed it off. I ran a game. I've played a game. It's quite fun. This was many years ago now, but if I can find it, I'll bring it and I'll give it to you, so you can have a play. But yeah, so you've got that. So it's not just video games as well. They've got a tabletop section. But it's running from Thursday the 7th to Saturday the 9th. We will be there on Saturday the 9th. We're going to try and do some interviews, and we're going to check out some stuff. So you'll more than likely see an extra video of everything that we've seen at
There's going to be a
WSC.
special.
Yeah, and there'll probably be a special podcast as well the following week. We were running a competition for a pair of free tickets. They're still available. I'm not being funny. If you're available to go on those dates, just send us a DM and we'll send it along to you. We'll do it that way. Because I don't want these tickets to go to waste. If someone's going to be able to go, I'd rather them take it, even if it's just one day. Because
Absolutely, you don't have to go all day.
No, it's a pair of tickets for all 3 days. If you can go all 3 days, do it. Because the way it works out is this is actually £90 worth of tickets that we've got to give away.
Yeah.
So if you want them, just shoot us a message. We'll happily just give them to someone that would happily like to use them. But yeah,
If you've enjoyed EGX Resd in the past,
Yeah,
that's the vibe I'm getting.
it is.
So
It is.
just think of playing like indie games.
Mm.
Come and chat to us on Saturday if you can go on Saturday, and then chat to developers and careers stuff.
Yes,
and...
there's careers. I can't emphasize this enough. If you want to get into the gaming industry and you're not really sure how to get there, go to one of these events, go to the careers people, because there will be people who can look over your CV, who can talk to you about the skills that you currently have that can go over, and they can talk to you how to make yourself more attractable to game devs and studios. Don't just sell someone else. Do something, because that's the only way you'll get into the gaming industry. It is.
And you don't have to pay a thing apart from to get there. So
Yeah, if you win the tickets, you can do it for free.
first come,
so.
first serve.
Exactly.
Come grab.
Brilliant.
I mean,
Next week.
pricing wise, if you want to go for a single day, it's £22 a ticket. Children 10 and under go for free.
Yeah.
But if you wanted all 3 days,
Anybody
it's
at home?
£45.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why it's a £90 equivalent, because you're getting 2 tickets for the 3 days. But like I said, you go when you can. Enjoy yourself.
It's a fun day out. It's a fun day out.
Yeah. It'll be nice to go to something that's new as well. I remember when I started going to the UK Games Expo, which is the board game expo in Birmingham. I think we went when it was in its 2nd or 3rd year, so we were still quite in its infancy, sorry. And it was being held just in a hotel across a few like ground floor lobbies and everything. And as we went on and on and on, it ended up taking up half of the NEC. So these things grow, and I quite like the fact that we're kind of going to be in there from the start, so we can see this thing grow, hopefully, because it's nice to see these new events come up as well.
Yeah.
Dock as well is, I find, is a really cool venue. Like,
Such a good venue, yeah.
if they set it out the same way that they set out EGX Res when it was there, then yeah, it's like the layout's nice, and if they decide to start doing cosplay things, it's good place to have some good photos. We've got some cute photos as Zelda in the tobacco dock. So
I imagine it's the kind of place where you're going to see cosplayers anyway. Even if there's not an event, I imagine you'll still see some people going in cosplay because it's just what they like to do.
I might wear just one bit of cosplay bit, maybe my Evie Fry trousers, but then with my or something. I don't know. I haven't cosplayed in ages.
But yes,
Yes.
that's the little extra. Plus, join our Discord, link below.
And there.
Please join our Discord. If you want to be part of the discussion, if you want to chat to us in general, if you want to, I don't know, see Bendy tell you to put your coat in the coat check area.
It's not difficult.
He's so angry.
You're literally landing that area.
Yeah, there is a link below. Use it. There is also a link on various different social media platforms. But join us. We love to talk to people. We're very chat. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're very chatty people. I know it doesn't come across because we're only doing a podcast, but we're quite chatty. Yeah. So,
and to be fair,
also we like games too.
Yeah,
we like games.
And the thing is, we talk all things games. I think me and Bendy talked about it off pod the other day, like that we need to start incorporating more tabletop stuff because it's all gaming at the end of the day.
We love tabletop.
And
we do.
Up to you guys.
Much Dungeons and Dragons.
They do.
But there's a section for everything in that Discord. There's the people that are in there already. They're having discussions about stuff, and it's nice to see people actually having discussions. It's not like a regular kind of like streamer Discord from what I've seen, where people just come in and just chat nonsense half the time. Like, I don't mean that as a bad thing, you know what I mean? People will just have like personal conversations. This feels like somewhere to go to have specific, to have a specific conversation about something. It's not just riddled with stuff that you probably have no idea what's going on. But
no,
join us.
Yes, join us. We love you.
Join us.
Don't join Tempusbe. But cool. That's us for the week. That's it. We're done. Rant over. Dungeon rings. Bendy, where can we find you?
My laptop's about to run out of battery, so I'm glad we're wrapping up.
Do it quickly.
Right. So, Tempus got it right last week. It's Bendy's costuming. When I always say it's Bendy Ben's costuming. But no, it's Bendy's costuming. Join me on Twitter. I just put an emoji of this yesterday. Who knows? That's how exciting my Twitter is. Come and join me.
Yes. Where can I find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Tempusbe.
Ah, lovely. And I'm Nettlecreates. And you can find me everywhere as Nettlecreates. Literally everywhere. I'm outside your window staring at you right now.
She literally wrote at Nettlecreates in the condensation.
Big heart.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Big heart. Yeah. We will see you all next week for another fun-filled, ranty episode. Until then, have a good weekend. Play some games.
And for two of you, we could see you next week.
To see them next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.